This is Cam Weiland, and you're listening to the 156th episode of the Wordplay Podcast. And the editing continues around here. I'm about halfway through both Dreamlander and The Deepest Breath, and of course looking forward to getting back to Storming Zatline. On another note, a few months ago I received a kind and thoughtful email from a reader of my historical short story, One More Ride in the Rain. He pointed out a few historical boo-boos in the story, so I pulled the ebook from the web until I could fix things up. I'm now happy to report the ebook is back online, all shiny and new and improved, and only 99 cents. If you've previously purchased the book, I would be very pleased to send you the new version free of charge. You can email me your choice of ebook formats, Mobi, EPUB, or PDF, at km.weiland, that's WEILAND, at ymail.com. Draw out your story's tension, but not too far. The latest post in the video series on my blog points out the importance of dramatic tension, but also warns against stretching that tension too far. To watch it, visit my blog at wordplay-kmweiland.blogspot.com. New videos are posted every Wednesday. And now, I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast, Talent versus Learning. Do you have to be born an author? Do you have to be born with a genius for writing? Do you have to have some crucial chromosomal heritage from brilliant parents? Or maybe just a happy coincidence of the right mental wiring? If the answers to these questions is yes, then only the protégés among us are going to make it at this writing game. And the rest of us? Well, we're just as stuck as all the disappointed 5-foot tours missing out on their MBA dreams. But what if it's not true? What if writing, like basketball, is something we can learn, but unlike basketball, isn't something we have to depend on our genetic heritage to ultimately fulfill for us? What if the dream of becoming a best-selling author is something within the reach of anyone willing to do a little hard work? What is talent? According to Barbara Begg, in her article The Talent Myth, in The Writer, April 2012, talent, I have long told my students, is the assumptions we make about other people's abilities that keep us from developing our own. We could define talent several different ways, but I define it like this. Talent is aptitude, and aptitude is made up of many different factors, including the ability to spell, an ear for words, a sense of story structure, and an empathy for character. And which of those can't be learned? Granted, some of us are born with a natural gift for these things, and some of us aren't. Some of us grew up winning spelling bees, while some of us can't remember that E in chicken to save our lives. But most of us learned how to spell and how to parse sentences just as we discovered story structure through much reading and trial and error. In an April 2012 interview, the writer again, award-winning novelist Sharon G. Flake admitted, "There are many ways to be a writer. You can be like me, self-conscious, a little learning disabled with a poor memory for details, and still do some awesome work." So how do you learn to write? The answer to that one is easy. You write. You study, you rewrite. In the words of Samuel Beckett, you try again, fail better. There is no aspect of the art and craft of writing that cannot be learned. Anyone from any background or any walk of life can learn the essentials of writing. So, breathe a sigh of relief. If you weren't born a writing genius, no sweat. You've got all the tools you need right at your fingertips, so long as you have the magic ingredient. Ultimately, the secret ingredient to writing success isn't the elusive talent. It's passion. For all I know, my next-door neighbor may have the mental skills and experiences necessary to make him a far better writer than I can ever hope to be. But he's not interested in writing, so what good are those skills or that natural aptitude going to do him? Not much. On the other hand, there are those of us who love writing and are dedicated enough to put in the long hours of study and work. We are going to succeed in the end. Not only is this great news for those of us who fear we lack the necessary talent, it also means we can take much greater satisfaction in our work. If we achieve great things in our writing thanks to our hard work, how much cooler is that than being born with a truckload of talent? Thank you for listening to the Wordplay Podcast. To read a transcript of this episode, visit me on the web at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com, and be sure to listen again next week.